CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
After festivities or gatherings, some people make the bad decision of getting behind the wheel after having a few too many drinks, and they end up with a DUI. Now, for the 20th year, the Fresno County District Attorney's Office has received funding to help with DUI prosecution. And to give us details about the DA's office's specialized DUI prosecution team, we're joined by Fresno County District Attorney Lisa Smitkamp. And Lisa, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
What is the role of the DUI prosecution team?
So we have a special grant from the Office of Traffic Safety, which comes from the state of California, to have 2 prosecutors specially assigned to felony drunk driving cases. And the reason that is because it still, unfortunately, is a very prevalent crime that occurs here in Fresno County.
And so that the grant money helps to pay for those, the costs or the expense of having those 2 dedicated prosecutors?
That's correct. And it also allows us to have those prosecutors dedicated to those cases. They receive extra training and they become specialized in this area of the law. And oftentimes, sometimes our prosecutors will even respond out to the scene of these accidents, sometimes that are fatalities. You know, obviously they happen all times of the day and night. And it allows our prosecutors who are in these specialized grants to have additional relationships and closer relationships with law enforcement officers who prosecute these cases, so that we can educate them about what makes good cases in court, and they can teach our prosecutors how it is to investigate these cases, you know, on the scene that are extremely difficult to do.
And so, just for clarification, what is your office's policy on people who drive under the influence?
Well, every person who drives drunk or under the influence is, you know, we have a saying in the DA's office: we plead it and prove it, and that's the best that we do every single year to try to circumvent people. And we also engage in a lot of education and awareness, doing PSAs and news stories like this to try to really educate the public about the alternatives. You know, there's a lot of people that choose to drink, and people who lawfully and legally drink, that's fine, but we just really need people to be responsible about making choices before they start to engage in the use of alcohol to provide safe transportation for themselves, so that we don't have to have these fatalities.
Yeah, I was out at the Mothers Against Drunk Driving walk several weeks ago, and 2 of your specialized DUI prosecutors were out there and, in fact, got an award from Mothers Against Drunk Driving for all of their hard work. Why does Fresno County qualify for these funds? Is it based on need? Is it based on a proven track record? How are you successful?
It's all of those things. So this is the 20th year that we have received this funding from the state, and every year we're audited. We have to provide all our statistics, you know, how well we do, how many cases we have, how many prosecutions we have, what the results are of those, and the state does audit. So these grants are competitive, so I'm very proud of the fact that we are continuing to receive the grant, and it keeps getting bigger every year because we do have so much success. I wish we didn't need the grant. I wish it wasn't a necessity, but sadly, you know, this is a crime that is really preventable. And I think that's, for those of us that work in law enforcement, that's the most difficult thing about DUI, is that this is a crime that is 100% preventable. And so we really all work very hard to try to do the best that we can to hold offenders accountable.
Because even if somebody does go out and drink at a celebration, there are now so many options. You can designate a driver. Sure. In the past, you know, that was the message: designated driver, call a taxi. Well, now we have multiple ride-sharing services that are so affordable and accessible.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I think the thing is that people don't realize that the first thing to be altered when you start to consume alcohol is your ability to use your judgment as a human being. And so there's a lot of people that intend to, you know, have 1 or 2, and then just 1 or 2 turns to 3 or 4. You know, there's a lot of things that can affect a person's ability to function well, you know, when they're driving, when they're drinking, and, you know, what they ate, or are they tired? You know, all those things come into play, but it really is imperative that people make plans before they start drinking to make sure that they have a ride. And I think the other thing that we really want to tell people is, don't be afraid to interfere. You know, most human beings don't like confrontation, but it is so important for family members and friends and people who see an intoxicated person, you know, to try to intervene, to try to get the keys away from them. Obviously, we don't want anyone to subject themselves themselves to violence or conflict that's, physical or unnecessary. But if you do see somebody drinking and driving and you can't stop them, notify police and notify the authorities if you can, because that could prevent someone from dying.
Yeah, it can save a life, and also to prevent, if that person does drink and drive and gets caught, also, which they're going to get caught, they face thousands of dollars in fines and legal costs.
Yeah, and we're seeing so many young people, Catherine, who are involved in these what we call Watson murders, which is somebody who has been convicted of DUI, is given a proper warning in court, and then goes out and reoffends, and then we prosecute those people for murder after they're given the proper advisement. And some of these people are under 30 years old, and they are literally drinking, driving repetitively, and killing people. So it's not only ruining the lives of a perfectly innocent stranger, but it's ruining the life of the person who commits the DUI and is prosecuted for murder. Their families are destroyed also.
And Fresno County DA Lisa Smitkamp, thank you so much for coming in today. And if you'd like more information, we will have that on our website on how you can make some good choices behind the wheel. For more information on this grant, or again to watch this interview again in its entirety, visit our website at yourcentralvalley.com.